Hello and welcome. I'm Ashwin Ahmad, and I'm in conversation with Ambassador Zhang Xiangchen, China's permanent representative to the WTO. Ambassador, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Well, first of all, let's start with President Trump's tweet. He talked about the fact that the WTO is broken, there's a crisis within the WTO, there is a divide between developed and developing countries. What are the reasons for this?
Actually, WTO is broken in the sense that the Appellate Body is paralyzed. So it's unfortunate. So the WTO reform is a relevant subject for all WTO members. That's something we are all focusing on in Geneva. So I'm very pleased to discuss this issue in the Pune Asia Economic Dialogue. And the reason of the crisis of WTO, I think, is from the unilateralism and the protectionism. According to the Marrakesh Agreement of WTO, the members need to work together to resist the pressure of protectionism of all rounds. So we need to work together, developing countries, to discuss how to deal with the current crisis. And now the members in the WTO are working very hard to try to resolve the crisis of the Appellate Body. And now some members are working on the interim solution to it. But I don't think the interim solution is the alternative of the Appellate Body. From long-term objective, our objective is still to resume the full functioning of the Appellate Body. It is an important pillar of the multilateral trading system.
So the trend that we've seen now, we've had the phase one of the U.S.-China. Do you think that the move towards now is towards bilateral agreements more and more? And what does that mean for international organizations, not just with the WTO, but other international organizations as well?
I do hope that the agreement between China and U.S., the so-called Phase 1 agreement, can help us to lower down the tension between China and U.S. It's good for China, it's good for U.S., and good for the rest of the world because we are linked by the global value chain. We are different episodes on the global value chain. However, I don't think the bilateral arrangement can resolve all the issues among ourselves. Some issues are more multilateral. For example, agriculture subsidies. We cannot address this issue by bilateral negotiations. We have to discuss this issue in the WTO. And you are right that WTO is not the only international institution. There are a lot of global issues we need to discuss in other international organizations. For example, the climate change. We cannot use unilateral or bilateral way to deal with the global challenge ahead of us. We have to work together to take advantage of all relevant international agencies to fight against the crisis we are facing together.
So coming specifically to China, there were certain media reports where I believe the Chinese government had spoken about other member countries not using the coronavirus to set up trade barriers. Is that a worry that still remains, and how confident are you that other countries will not do so?
Yes, the coronavirus is a global disease. We have to work together to combine this disease. In the WTO, in the Trading Goods Committee and other relevant committees, we call for the WTO members to work together with us to combat against this disease, not to use non-necessary restriction against the goods. Right. And now the situation in China is improving. But we would like to continue our efforts to combat against the disease together with the other members. So we hope the situation will be improved soon.
Finally, sir, the US has put pressure on the appellate body of the WTO. There's been talk of an alternative appellate body, which was discussed in the seminar. How far along are we with that, and how far along are China and India working in this regard?
As I said, there's no alternative for the appellate body. The so-called multi-party interim arrangement of arbitration is just an interim arrangement and the current situation, because we still need a two-tier system for addressing our disputes. Where we'll continue to support the daily work process, the multilateral process on the appellate body issues. We can make a reflection. We can answer the why questions, but I think we need to focus on the how question, how to improve the system.
Yes. Ambassador, thank you so much for your time.